Welcome to AG's Ace. Obviously, we are going to talk about cricket. Remember in 1974, when India was shot out for 42 against England, that disaster was called the Summer of 42. So when India was shot out for 36 for 9 this time against Australia, it should more or less be called the winter of our discontent. It has been a very trying time for Indian cricket. As a huge cricket fan, I support our team. I'm with them. And when I say I'm sure there are millions of Indian fans who love their own cricket team, who support them, who cheer for them. But this kind of defeat raises a lot of questions. First of all, I'll run through a couple of points which are going through my mind. The first thing is, when India gets shot out for this kind of total, which is the lowest ever, under the stewardship of Virat Kohli, then he says in a post-match press conference, let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. यानी हिंदी में हम इसे कहेंगे बात का बतंगड़ मत बनाइए. So getting shot out for 36 with this kind of disaster is making a mountain out of a molehill. So I'm sure Virat can choose better words in future. Second is, what is coach Ravi Shastri doing with this team? I know Ravi personally, and he's a great guy. He's obviously, he's more like a massive cheerleader for the Indian cricket team, for the boys. He stands by them. And that counts for a lot, because there have been coaches in the Indian cricket history who, at the first sign of trouble, have not really stood by the boys. Ravi is not like that. But the larger question is, what is Ravi doing when it comes to imparting technical skills to training, the way catches are being dropped, catch after catch has been dropped? It's a terrible sight. It happened in the ODIs. It is happening in the first. It happened in the first Test match, and it is happening at a very regular level. So, where are the drills? What is being done to tighten the technical ability of the boys, and particularly when it comes to the overall structure, the sense, the lack of purpose, which Virat said that they lacked intent. Now, at this level, when someone says that you lack intent, then what are you doing playing for India? You should have intent, and intent is not just there in the mind. It is intent in the purpose, in the strategy, in the planning that goes into play. All of that matters. Now, for the second test, there is the talk that Wriddhiman Saha will be dropped. Okay. Now, if Wriddhiman Saha is being dropped for the second test, why did you not take Rishabh Pant in the first test match? He is in terrific form where batting is concerned. None less than Sunil Gavaskar said that in Australia, wicket-keeping skills are not really that important because of the pace, and the wicket-keeper stands far behind. So someone like Rishabh Pant would be equal to the task. So we missed that on cue. Now Rishabh Pant comes in. KL Rahul was benched after a superb form that he was in. Now suddenly you put him on the bench, so he's back. In place of Prithvi Shaw, now you have Shubman Gill coming in. So there was a lot of discussion even for the first test that these three gentlemen should have played. I have nothing against Prithvi, and some of the shots that he plays are truly fantastic. Possibly the kind of praise he got after playing against the West Indies may have affected his mind or whatever happened. And the true test is happening now. But like Sanjay Manjrekar and a couple of other former cricketers said, that the forward defense is missing. Defense, which is so important for an opener, wasn't there in his game. Maybe to be fair to Prithvi, give him some time off, let him concentrate on that game, then bring him back. So let's move on. Now, what is going to happen in Test 2, Test 3, Test 4? Is India going in for a 4-0 loss? Can India bounce back? Now, how will India bounce back is the question, because now we've lost Mohammed Shami. He came into bat without an arm guard. Why? These are some of the simplest basics of Indian cricket. So you are another pacer shot. Umesh Yadav has not been in terrific form. Ishant is not there. Although now there's again talk that get Ishant back, but with a 14-day quarantine, will he have enough time to get acclimatized? I don't think so. Rohit Sharma is already there. Rohit Sharma could have sat back and played against England in India, but he has been brave enough. He has been courageous enough. He has taken the right call for India, and he will be there for Test 3 and Test 4. But is that going to be enough? Will this team be able to take the momentum forward? Please recall the fact that Ajinkya Rahane, when he ran out, I'm not saying intentionally, but it was his call, and when he ran out Virat Kohli, Virat was playing beautifully in that first innings. He was, I think, around 74. He may have hit 100. And the momentum would have stayed with India. So that was a disaster. Now, Ajinkya's batting, while when he's in his usual flourish, is great to watch, but those runs are not on the board. He needs to worry on that count. Cheteshwar Pujara is the new wall, but Rahul Dravid was never that slow, and Rahul Dravid was a class apart. So Cheteshwar also needs to basically step up where the runs are concerned. Yes, consuming the deliveries is fine, but if you're consuming the deliveries, then play the rock solid ball for India and block one end up and basically look for partnerships. The fielding needs to improve dramatically. You have Vikram Rathore as the batting coach. Again, questions are being raised that after the debacle in the World Cup, where we got knocked out in the semis by New Zealand, poor Sanjay Bangar got the chop, and Ravi Shastri retained his position. He's still there. What about BCCI chief Saurav Ganguly himself? What is the kind of thought process which is going on in his mind from one of the finest and one of the most aggressive captains which India had? But these are different times. This is a different space. You are working with a different mindset. So is the shorter format killing Test cricket in India? Is it already done and dusted? Who is going to play the long knocks? And above all, the bowling attack needs to be carefully thought through. I hope Ravindra Jadeja is fit for the next Test, because if he's not, then, where are your 4 to 5 good bowlers? Shami is already gone. There's too much pressure on Jasprit Bumrah to take wickets. So it is a situation, and it is a situation which is of India's own doing. There is lack of strategy. There is lack of planning. There is lack of intent, which has been said by none other than Virat Kohli, who won't be there for the next 3 tests. So good luck, India. We'll be watching. We'll be praying for you. And we sincerely hope that the BCCI takes a few steps very, very quickly to try and stem the bleed. It is a bad situation. It is not making a mountain out of a molehill. For heaven's sake, please do not say that. We are with Team India, and good luck.